just noticed I'm doing laser tag tomorrow at 9:30. Let me make sure everything is posted. Apply. Alright, cool. Got one viewer so far. I am trying to look for the key. I gotta share. Layout editor, studio mode, overlays, highlighter, recorder, recordings. Let's see the dashboard. Let's see what's in the dashboard. Nope, don't want that. Get hope settings. Editor. What's up, y'all? Type shit. Put the double O in a moon. Serotonin, it's a cool typeness. Here we go. Serotonin, that's a cool typeness. And in the shrooms, 9 to 5 type shit. Red light in my dreadlocks, I'm on board type shit. Posted with my dog Scooby-Doo type shit. So this is 11:14. I gotta edit that right quick. Edit. It's 1:14. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Can't wait to start reading. Duplicate. Really wish I could have it to where I guess I can't. Oh well, who cares? Scooby-Doo type shit. Okay. So here we gonna go. I gotta edit my title of this video, and I also have to update my tags so people can hop in. Red light, my jam lights, I'm on board type shit. Scooby Doo type shit. Posted up when I die, Scooby Doo type shit. Yeah, I don't got no tags currently. There we go. You all good? And now after I do that, and once I posted Enjoy Girls in them Discord, we good, bro. We good. I posted Enjoy Girls Spotlight. Post it up in the Discord. You feel me? We don't waste no time. I'm fresh out of work right now. All right. I probably gotta read both chapters today because I might be busy. Tomorrow I'm doing laser tag and I might be going to the studio too. We gonna see. I don't gotta go to the studio. I only read one. And oh yeah, I gotta post on Twitter. Duh. What am I doing? Nobody call this shit X, bro. All right. And Twitter. Put the serotonin in the room. Feeling like a 9 to 5 tightness. What is going on? Am I not streaming on Twitter? I'm gonna be pissed if I'm not. I should be. Okay. Now we got that up. Alright, I think I'm ready. I guess it's not on Twitter this time. I'm not gonna really complain that deeply. It's kinda annoying that it's not. Oh yeah, it is. It is up. Just gotta edit it to say 114. Good. I guess I can't. All right. All right, y'all. This is chapter 114. I'm about to start reading now. This chapter is called The Wings of Icarus. We are continuing Yamato's cover story. You see, surrogate pilgrimage. This is the fourth one. Go and shrine this sword at Hakumai's Enma shrine and Yasui steed. That is your surrogate pilgrimage. Okay? Posted up with my dogs, I'm on bull type shit. Alright, it's a lot is going on this page. Navy HQ, New World. This is the new Marine Fort after Luffy and Whitebeard destroyed the last one. The world will sink under the sea. Dr. Vegapunk, what are you talking about? Dang. Akainu was like, what? Mocktown. God. Now that's so funny. So he decides that when he dies, he's gonna go out throwing the world into chaos. How exactly is the entire world gonna sink underwater, man? Water 7. Around here, we believe him. But the whole world? He's not talking about high and low tides, is he? Impel down. Oh, that's rich. What if seawater floods down into Impel down? I couldn't see that happening. It's all actually, yeah, it could. Isn't your job to ensure the safety of the prisoners under your care, Magellan? This man Doflamingo, how is you complaining? Like he's legit complaining right now with a smile on his face. This like a corporate ass complaint. He complaining to the bosses about some bullshit going around at work. He sit up there smiling and laughing about it. Isn't it your job? Your is bolded. Isn't it your job to ensure the safety of the prisoners under your care, Magellan? Oh man. Oh shit, he actually getting a response. I thought he was talking to himself. You know how Doffy be in the Impel Down prison. Ever since Luffy whooped that ass, my man's Doffy been in the Impel Down prison talking to himself. After every single arc, my man's Doffy always shouting something, talking to himself. Magellan was, he probably, after a while, Magellan was like, man, let me get this nigga some company, bro. I know he just be sitting down here yelling to himself. Nobody to talk to. That 1 meter rise the other day. That 1 meter rise the other day? You mean it rose 36 inches everywhere? 36 inches is like, it's up there. It's like these. It's like almost like my hip size. Like, yeah, it goes up to my hip just about. 1 meter rise, 36 inches. Most cities in the world will be wiped out with an extra 5 meters of water. What do you think we should do? Wait, what do you think? Should we all move to much higher ground? Yeah, go to the Sky Islands, man. Now the Sky Islands popping, bro. Now the Sky Islands about to be popping. The Sky Islands are going to be the new islands, I would say. One could say. The Sky yeah, that's gonna be how the new islands are. It's gonna be Sky Islands. Kind of like how about 700 years ago you got the old Wano. That was normal like ground down there, if that makes sense. So now, ever since the world kind of flooded without everybody knowing, since the Void Century happened, the world flooded during that time and it wasn't recorded, I guess. So now the new world is where we are at right now, how everything is level with the water. You know, it's islands everywhere. But I think it was way more land in the void century than it was water. It probably, well, I'm not gonna say way more, but it was much more land than it is now. Um, it was way more land in the void century than it is land out there right now. So yeah, Vegapunk theory, according after he finished O'Hara's research, we basically like the whole world gonna be flooded. So the world, like the sea level, probably gonna be risen damn near to Sky Island heights. That's what it sounded like. Luffy gonna have to bust some shit up, or it's done for. The Fishman gonna take over. All right. Speaking of the Fishman, what is going to happen? Hmm. It just sounds so absurd. Future Island, Egghead. What is he talking about? This is coming from the world's greatest scientist. He can wreak havoc on the world even with a lie. This is utter nonsense, Dr. Vegapunk. Then you got the Gorosei reacting to what he said. I think one of them getting their ass beat or something messed up on his face. Saint Saturn. Destroy the transmission transponder, Snell. In fact, destroy any life form you can hear. Everything else is secondary. What do they mean? Oh, so they about to they trying to make another void century by killing everybody and silencing them for generations until it's forgotten. That's crazy. How much are you going to tell them, Stella? Now speaking of the near future for me, assuming that the sensors I built are functioning correctly, in the days after I record this message, there should be a most remarkable earthquake that strikes the entire planet. Huh? What does he mean? What days? Is he talking about the earthquake from today? But Vegapunk's already dead, supposedly. As a result of that, oh, they went to the Big Mom Pirates that quick? As a result of that, I thought that, wait, hold up. Let me go back a page. Stella. Okay, this isn't Big Mom. This isn't Whole Cake right here. I don't know what village that is. Is he talking about the earthquake from today? But Vegapunk's already dead, supposedly. As a result of that, the sea should rise about 1 meter around the world, rendering some islands uninhabitable. Huh? Was that a prophecy? Beaches around the world will be lost for good. If I am wrong in this prediction, feel free to disregard the rest of this message. How? That's freaky, man. He totally nailed it. If this has happened, however, you should heed my words very carefully. This particular earthquake is not exactly what I will call a natural phenomenon. So it's a planned earthquake? Who did this? Vegapunk, don't you dare say another word, bro. You talking to a recording, bro. He's saying it. He's saying it. How about you do something about it? You got the Straw Hat still distracting him. Oh, she just hit him with Zeus. Nami hit him with the Thunder Cannon. Go away. In my own way, I only ever hoped for peace. Ooh. I like this panel of the Straw Hats fighting this Gorosei member. In my own way, I only ever hoped for peace. Robin saving the Straw Hats. Okay. Chopper protecting him with his devil fruit. Okay, he's pissed. He's saying, "Be gone." But this was the root of my first sin. What about the power plant Mars? Not yet. Are they like talking telepathy? Are they like communicating like mind to mind on some pain type shit? How are they talking to each other? What about the power plant Mars? Not yet. That chamber must not be harmed above all else. I will go. I dreamt of a source of endless internal energy, and in my desire to push the world forward into the future, the mother flame. Wait, I'm dreaming. And in my desire to push the world forward into the future, I flew too close to the sun, the mother flame. Destroy every last sign of life. Not that one either. In the lab. Ah, allow me to explain. It's no good. That didn't work. Just what it is. Allow me to explain just what it is. We can't even make that thing so much as flinch. Okay, so they blasting the Joy Boy night with Buster Call Cannons. Yow, that's hot. That is happening. Wait, I gotta read all what Vegapunk saying at once. Hurry before we get roasted alive. Allow me to explain just what it is that is happening to our world. From about 900 years ago to 800 years ago, a period of a century, there is a span of history that is completely and entirely blank. You got Emu reacting. He probably about to destroy this whole island. What are you doing, Navy? Make him stop talking. We call this the Void Century because all records from this time were eliminated. The only means to know this lost piece of history, an execution, is too good for him. Bring me his body. I'll mutilate the corpse. Void Century, what is that? The Celestial Dragons don't even know of it? The only means to know this lost piece of history is to find a message from the past in the form of poneglyphs scattered across the world. And decipher its contents. Why didn't the Navy ever try to collect the poneglyphs themselves? And I mean like poneglyphs like the basic ones. Why didn't they ever try to say, hey, we're taking this and we're just going to keep it at a Navy base somewhere, you know? If they so big and bad, they got the girl saying everything. Well, long, long ago, Orange Town Blue, there were 20 kings who got together and they created the world. Doesn't that man know that? What do you think, Chocho? However, the world government. Wait, I gotta see what he said before this. See, I gotta read what he say. Okay. It's to find a message plan and pornography and decipher its contents. However, the world government has made it a crime of the highest order to decipher the message of the poneglyphs. And despite being a member of the government myself, I broke this law. That was my second sin. To decipher the message of the poneglyphs. So he deciphered the poneglyphs through the sheer tenacity of a group of excellent archaeologists. I inherited some text and a number of poneglyphs, which I have deciphered, and continue studying to the best of my ability. I regret none of this. History, you see, tells a story. Wait, something moved. Huh? Look, are the clouds extending outward? So when Edison said he would make sure we touched down on water, did he mean, good point, if the clouds stretch farther out, we can reach out to sea? Now get off this island, straw hats, and don't let the world government lay a finger on you. Damn, Edison had to sacrifice himself. In other words, what I know is an incomplete story. In other words, what I know is an incomplete story of that 100-year void. It would be dishonest to fill the blanks with my own speculation. So I will leave you only with the verified truth. Hey, Straw Hat, don't push your luck. The main character of this story was born into a kingdom with an possibly advanced civilization 900 years ago. This one will hurt you. Like sun god Nika spoken of in Elbath legend. He fought with a body that stretched and contracted. His name was Joy Boy. Hey, stop trying to make us laugh. Why don't Luffy punches work on him? And he was the very first man on this sea to be called a pirate. Whoa. He fought with a body that stretched. So Joy Boy is the first pirate of all time. Ain't no way this chapter ended, bro. 15 pages? Are you serious? I'm reading the next chapter. Pieces of a Continent. Ogre Child, Yamato Go to Harvest, Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 5. Hiyori and Otoko are packing me a bento lunch. Flower Capital, Wano. I can't believe this gets signals from abroad. Orochi had it in a castle. But as for why he was called a pirate, so Joy Boy was a pirate? He sounds just like Luffy. You've heard of him, my lord? The Brig Naval Base G4. Joy Boy, I don't believe he's stronger than our captain. Oh. Right, Captain Kid? Leave the guy alone, he's already dead. That's the captain we love and admire, the most generous guy around. Why are they showing him that I'm weaker than Joy Ball? I have only read from a handful of poneglyphs, but what I found there was a record of breathtakingly was a rec was the record of a breathtakingly vast war. Joy Boy's enemy was the world government of the present day. Wait, is that us? If he was a pirate, that checks out. Vegapunk. More accurately, it was the precursor to the world government, a provisional army put together by 20 kingdoms known as the Alliance. Okay, so Vegapunk is going to be the reason why we don't need the Straw Hats to collect every single poneglyph to learn the history. Vegapunk is the reason why the Straw Hats won't have to do what Gold D. Roger did and basically read all the poneglyphs and find them all. Vegapunk is telling us all the information we don't know. Um, we don't know as of yet. As you know, the information that's on Lavtail, the information on the road poneglyphs, etc. You might, so they had no other choice. So Robust was Joy Boy's faction. So Robust was Joy Boy's faction. Without knowing the spark that caused the war, I won't say who was right or wrong. I'll simply state that two competing ideologies came head to head. Oh, he's completely neutral. As I mentioned earlier, for his time 900 years ago, the country of Joy Boy's birth, Zo New World, was a startlingly advanced civilization, and the weapons that were used over the course of this 100-year conflict appear to be impossible to recreate with the latest modern science. That's amazing. It will make sense though that it was like very advanced in the Void Century, because I'm gonna keep bringing this up, but the Sky Islands, bro, like you gotta have some incredibly advanced technology to create an entire Sky Island. Incredibly advanced, bro. So really everything we saw in Dr. Vegapunk's lab, that don't even count towards he's basically saying everything he researched and know how to create, he still don't even he haven't reached the potential of the Void Century technology. Hoi hoi hoi. Fee 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 hey. What is this nonsense? He's talking peanuts. Boss, I'm starving. Even I, a humble genius, cannot replicate them. What is he bragging about? And therein lies the problem. Ooh. Yeah, why can't he replicate them? Labo phase. There lies the problem. Stussy. It's me, Edison. Lower the barrier and run for safety. What? I can't. If anything happens to the Straw Hats before they can leave, honestly, there ain't much to point the barrier anymore. If it can't stop these guys from getting past it, I've done all I can to help the Straw Hats make their escape. They can take it from here. Are you on your way, Jinbei? Sorry, almost there. Don't apologize, Jinbei. We were. Was that you I heard saying something, Zoro? I'm gonna smack you after this. Hurry! More ships are gathering around the northeast coast. We don't want to land on the water only to get bombarded to bits. That's a relief, Stella. That's a relief. Stella would be so upset with me if I didn't help get them away. Nah, he wouldn't. Get out of there. Alright, what was the last thing he said, bro? Like some of the shit. But I don't know what to do. Huh? Without Stella around anymore, who do I live for? Don't let him use that katakana. The old geezer can cut through anything. Bio response detected. Bonnie. Look out, Bonnie. Hmm. Can't hold that future form for long. The Void Century came to a close with the defeat of Joy Boy. Whoa. How long must you jabber on, Vegapunk? Where is he going? Obnoxious bio response. But not before leaving vast, permanent scars of war across the face of the world. Mm. Huh? The world is made up of a series of islands. Sailing between them is difficult, and many people never experience anything but their own culture at home. But this shared understanding of the world does not necessarily apply to the world of 1,000 years ago, because a catalyst, a, a catalysm, a catalachiism occurred during the Void Century, causing the world to sink once before. We are currently living on the pieces of a continent that existed long ago. I said that! I just said that! I just said that. Whoa! I said that last chapter. Yeah, I really feel like. Well, he just confirmed it. I really feel like during the Void Century, it was like maybe it was probably some weird shit. Like it was like 30% water or something, like seawater. I don't know. We are currently living on the pieces of a continent. What? That existed long ago. Huh? The world of a millennium ago now slumbers unseen at the bottom of the sea. I know the fishman could probably find this. In fact, one can assume that in the past there were a number of continents we know nothing about. Whoa. Kind of like the Earth now. This is all so wild. Where are you going, Nojiko? You can tell me about it later. I'm going to check on the tangerine groves. If the world were still the same as it was in the past, then the act of erasing 100 years of history would be simply unthinkable and impossible. However, it makes much more sense when you understand that the rise in sea level over that century was 200 meters. What? 200 meters? These gigantic battleships are only 60 meters long. No wonder the whole world vanished. Don't get distracted by the story. Cypher Pole and the Seraphim came falling down to ground level. We gotta rescue them. Did you hear that? This man's still lying. The old coot's cracking me up. No way any of that is true. How does such a thing happen? There's still so much to learn about the world. That mountain over there is just about 200 meters tall. Imagine the sea rising that high. It sounds like hell. How many people must have died? So while they was fighting during this 100-year void century span, while they was going to war, they was destroying the world so bad that they was putting cracks in it and raising the sea level each year, year after year. They were at war for 100 years. As for why the sea level rose so much during that century, it would be natural to assume the work of a sudden natural disaster. But I can state for a fact that this was a man-made disaster. That's just crazy. If such catalysm, a cataclysm were caused by natural forces, then the initial disaster would have spanned several centuries. and inflicted slow but continual damage upon the world. But by any measurement, climatically, geology, environmental, and atmosphere science, this dramatic shift could not have happened within a single century. So the cause is something else. And when I detected the rise in worldwide sea levels the other day, I had my answer. I knew the cause and confirmed its existence. The ancient weapons that sank to the world, that sank, the ancient weapons that sank the world into the sea 800 years ago still exist today and await the moment that they stir once again. In other words, the vast war that arose during the void century never came to an end. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I'm so psyched out right now. It's looking like my screen is turning blue and yellow back to back. Right now it's a dark yellow. Never came to an end. No. I guess I'm all caught up now, man. So he believed that there were several continents back then, kind of like the Earth is now, and no islands really. Well, maybe like Hawaii, but he's talking about he think like there was an America, a China, stuff like that. Vast continents, vast lands. He said we are on one continent right now. He believed that there are even more continents. So the map we've been shown of One Piece have been expanded. I mean, been minimized really. This whole time we thinking they going around the world, around the islands. Like once you cross the red line, you on the other half of the world. No, what if that's not the case? What if the other half of the world is like another continent? You see what I'm saying? That's so spooky. So what's blocking them off? So going on to my theory, what do you think would be blocking them off a whole other continent? If they are on one continent and Vegapunk theorized that there are multiple continents, what's blocking them from the other islands? Is it just sea? Is it the Florian Triangle? What's stopping them from going to these other places? Because it seemed like they just traveling in one straight line, going across, across like I don't know. It's like they going across this in between this football team I'm creating. They just going across here, but they can't go over this part. So the only way they can go, yeah, they can't go over for some reason. So they could probably only travel in like a small little circle within this thing. But real story is the world is actually like this, and this whole other size to it. I think that's why, bro, it's gonna be so beautiful once we see the all blue, bro. I think I really think that story is true. What Sanji was saying now about the all blue. Whoa. So when does the next chapter come out? Come out this Sunday? Well, this was an amazing stream, man. If you like the stream, make sure you click on my Twitter profile, click on my YouTube channel, and subscribe to the channel, please. That would be very helpful. Like this stream. Like this stream if you're watching it on YouTube, please. That so you can help boost my channel in the algorithm. Please like the stream. Leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll be here Sunday or Monday whenever the new chapter come out. But I'm all the way caught up now. For some reason, Luffy can't damage the Saint Saturn without hurting his hand, but he's still trying. Is something going wrong with that? Is something weird about that? So Luffy probably gotta get some type of power boost. But now I'm caught up. I really want to see what Joy Girl and my man's Brago. I want to see what those, because they are like the best theorists in the community. I really want to see what those two been saying about all of this. And maybe even O'Hara. Yeah, Joy Girl, O'Hara, Brago. Brago, he normally gives great insight. And Grand Line Review. I got to look at all these channels. Because this is... Whew! Let me see. About all of this. And maybe even O'Hara. Yeah, Joy Girl, O'Hara, Brago. Brago, he normally get... Alright. Yeah, let's see what they've been talking about. I had to unsubscribe from these channels so I don't get spoiled in the past year I've been gone. So I really haven't been able to watch anything. I already know Brago shit about to be flames. Check BDA. Let's see what he's been saying.
Get Now Internet and live the chill life. $30 a month, all in, no commitments. Introducing Now, reliable internet backed by the Xfinity Network. Get Now Internet starting at $30 a month, all in, no commitments, unlimited data. Chill mode on now.
It's time to unthink what business banking can be. Bluevine is uncomplicated, unnickel and dime, and built uniquely for you. Plus, you never have to step foot in a bank again. Bluevine.
One piece.
My man's Brago, bro. It's been a minute since I seen him, bro. He got a different setup. Got the glasses on. He still be rocking the hats, bro. I don't think I ever seen his hairline. Nice. Nice. Brago looking cool, man. Yeah, let me go get something to snack on right quick. I'm gonna be right back. boy back. I got me a bunch of snacks on me, bro. I had to get me a bunch. Go to my settings. How do reactors be setting their cameras up, man? How do y'all do it? Do y'all really do these with it? Huh? All right. I guess we up like this.
It's chapter 1115. How are you guys doing? It is good to talk to you guys again. Oda came back with a banger, and you guys know I'm not lying about that. If you read a chapter, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's one of those chapters that, if you know, you know, but there's some things that we gotta really have to dissect to understand why it's so important. And it's one of those that it answers questions, but it leads to so many more. And I have a bunch. I'm gonna let you guys know what those questions are. Let's dive in, shall we? It's great. One Piece is back, and we get to have a good time with it. Let's not waste any time. One Piece chapter 1115. Continental Artifacts. Is that the name of it? Is that? Continental Fragments. Per usual, we'll start with a cover story. Well, let me start and say I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope life is good. Everything is great. Healthy, strong, safe. Now, cover story. Yamato. She's on her pilgrimage. She's continuing that. Now she's with Hiyori and Toko. No problem with that. Cool. I feel like we're gonna have moments with her and all the people we've seen before. Not all, some of them are dead. A lot of the people we saw in the past. My question is, where is Tama? More than likely we get something with Tama. More than likely. But now I'm asking the question, is Tama not here with Hiyori because she's a Kurozomi? I don't know. I'm kidding. But Yamato, she's on a pilgrimage and she's just going through on her quest. It's almost like a game, RPG, right? Where they have her going to different places to get to the next place. And it's just gonna be that. The last cover story is pretty long. I expect this to be pretty long as well. So I think it's going to be a while before we get anything significant. What my hope is, like I told you guys before, Big Mom and Kaido stuff, Blackbeard stuff. Now I'm like, we could find out some Kaido stuff where it's like, not just Big Mom and Kaido, but Yamato finding out more about herself through Kaido. Maybe she finds like an Oni shrine or something like that, where she just gets some more insight on who she is, where her dad came from, etc., where she just becomes more knowledgeable in regards to his decisions, because he was implying that Yamato was ignorant and doesn't know much. So I would like that, just bringing things full circle, closing that loop a little bit, which, you know, can be closed through a Kaido backstory, but time will tell. Now, chapter. Continental. Not artifacts, fragments. We go back to Wano. Something that I want to point out here, it's not much going on. We do see Tama, though, which is cool. Momonosuke, he doesn't care that she's a Kurozomi. We see Tama, and something Momonosuke says that may get lost, but I think is really important. He says, so you were a pirate, Joy Boy, just like Luffy. And then Kinemon's like, you know of him, my lord. And he doesn't answer. We go to the next scene, and why it's significant is, well, Momonosuke read the Journal of Odin. So more than likely, Joy Boy was mentioned in that journal. And so Momonosuke, he's piecing things together as far as the similarities between Joy Boy and Luffy. And we got some more similarities, confirmations in this chapter, actually, between Joy Boy and Luffy. So that was pretty good. So that was my takeaway from that scene. Not much to take away there other than that. I think that was the intention. So let's move on. The funniest part of the chapter, by far, we see Damara Black and the fake straw. Oh, sorry guys, it's not the fake Straw Hat Pirates anymore. We have the fake Kid Pirates. I said this is a Kid W. It's a Kid W.
I am here at the Lettuce Grow seeding farm where the magic begins. We grow the baby plants into mature enough plants that we package and send to you all. I'm a believer, and
W, I know you guys don't want to admit it, it's a Kid W that he has the former cosplayers of the Straw Hat Pirates. They're now cosplaying the Kid Pirates. And the funniest is seeing my boy Drip in Killer's Mask. For a lot of you, if you don't know Drip, you don't know Manjaro. For whatever reason, I know the names of these people, right? Just because they're significant pieces in the One Piece history. And so we should know their names. Drip having on the Killer Mask and then having the paint going through. Bro, they are dedicated. They're in jail, even in jail, right? They're praising Sun God, or what's his name? Sun God Jika. Kid is back, but it's not the kid that you think. Bro, Oda, what are we doing? I just love the fact that Namara Black also called Joy Boy Joy Toy, which just shows how fraudulent they are. They're not even listening. He's like, man, just do Joy Toy. We don't care about him. Absolutely beautiful moment. It's a great moment. Oda's a good troll. He's a great troll. I want to point out as well, this is great for story consistency, considering that Damara Black and his crew, they did this in the past with the Straw Hats when the Straw Hats disappeared. So this is Oda using Kid's disappearance and his destruction as a way for Damara Black to capitalize off of Kid's reputation and saying, hey, because Kid has disappeared, we are here now. So it is consistent with the story as well. That's what makes it even more entertaining and good. Now to Vegapunk, because it's one of those chapters where Vegapunk is speaking, obviously, and a lot of things are happening in the background. And so you're trying to focus on what's happening in the background, but you're reading what Vegapunk is saying, and you're like, oh my God, which one should I pay attention to? Of course, you can just take your time and read through again and again to kind of get what's going on. Read Vegapunk first and then go through and read the chapter, the things that's going on in the background. But Vegapunk starts out and he talks about the poneglyphs, saying, I only have a handful. I haven't read all of them. And some people were using this fact that he stated to discredit Vegapunk. And I'm just like, yep, slow down. Because he got access to the Library of Ohara through the Elbaf Giants. So he is piecing together not only the poneglyph information, but also the research of the Oharans. So if there's anybody that I can trust and I deem credible, it would be Vegapunk. It's very similar to how I view his theory on devil fruits, because I think that's an absolute fact. I think he nailed it, even though I don't know if you ever get a detailed explanation like that on devil fruits. So based off of what Vegapunk said, I'm leaning towards agreeing with him. Of course, there's going to be more than that. Even with the poneglyphs and everything going on with the Void Sentry, there's going to be more to it than Vegapunk knows, but I think he's definitely onto something, and he's probably 80, 60, 70, 80% correct. There's just nuances about it that he would never know because he wasn't there and he hasn't read all the poneglyphs yet. And that's what's being saved through Robin and even through Luffy and their discovery, which is more of a groundbreaker, right? Or a game changer that Oda is saving, but he is piecing things together. If there's anybody we can trust, is Vegapunk. Some of us sound like the people in Mocktown. Like, bro, believe what you're hearing. He's that guy. We already knew this. A war happened in the past, and it's pretty evident based on the outcome, whereas we have the world government. They exist, and we know they had an ancient kingdom. They're trying to somewhat control the information getting out. So this is telling me a war happened, how it went down, the things that went down, they're trying to keep that suppressed because they don't look good because of it. So, yes, a war happened. Vegapunk confirmed it. A great war in the distant past. So, hey, okay, things are heating up. Something that's interesting as well to point out is that Vegapunk says that in the distant past, Joy Boy faced an enemy known as the organization now known as the World Government. Now, I gotta point out, for the most part, this is something that we expected, that Joy Boy was against the World Government back.
Watching Brago stuff, I'm thinking now, if back then, you know how basically back then, all 20 of the kingdoms teamed up, well, all 19 of the kingdoms teamed up on one kingdom, which was Joy Boy's kingdom, and those 19 kingdoms was the world government. Why isn't that the case now? When did the world government just become the world government? And you got the kingdoms that's like standalone kingdoms basically. Because Fishmouth Island, they not allies with the world government. I would not say that. Is Alabasta an ally of the world government? Like, most of these guys don't even like the world government like that, to be honest.
In the day, it was sometimes painted that it wasn't necessarily the world government against Joy Boy per se, but the world government against the ancient kingdom, because they came together to somewhat take down the ancient kingdom. Now it's being framed that it's the world government, we know with House Nerona, all these people came together to take down Joy Boy. I think there's more nuance to it. Obviously, I think that Joy Boy could have been on the Ancient Kingdom side, and them trying to monopolize the information or the technology from the Ancient Kingdom could be the reason. But then I start to think about, well, Vegapunk is painting this picture that society or civilization was just advanced. So this Ancient Kingdom didn't stand out or wasn't separate from anything. It was just what civilization was back then. The reason why everything is where it is now is because everything sunk to the bottom because of the water rising, because of the cataclysmic event that happened, which is most likely the ancient weapon being used. used in this war against Joy Boy. So there are more important things that are here that you don't see it at first, but it's just when you read through the tea leaves, it's all right there. Now, I don't mind the conclusions of some of the world government operatives, the Marines, because they're saying, well, obviously we were against him. He was a pirate, right? Where they're like, well, pirate, bad, world government, good, obviously. So there's some people that are still naive to the thinking that, yo, if you're part of the world government or the Marines, you're good. If you're going against a pirate, they're bad, which is just like, guys, leave room for nuance. It's going to crumble. Their perspective and view of this good, bad Marine pirate is going to crumble if it's not crumbling already based on the information that's currently being revealed in the background. And so I'm going to talk about the different panels and also talk about what's happening in the background, because while Vegapunk is saying this, we see Luffy still fighting against War Curie with Dorian Brogy running away. So they still can't figure out how to hurt War Curie. And I'm be honest, guys, I don't care about everything happening in the background because it's just a placeholder. The matchups don't matter. The fights don't matter. Nobody's going to win because at this point, it is just buying time for us to get Vegapunk's information. That is the purpose and the focus of this chapter. That's why those things are happening. No dialogue in the background. It's almost like when Luffy and Lucci were fighting earlier, and it's like earlier in the arc, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't as important considering that this is to give Vegapunk the time in the room to talk about Gear 5 Luffy and to see Gear 5 Luffy. So the outcome, it's inevitable Luffy's gonna win, but how long he's fighting, what's happening, much ado about nothing, because the whole point is to buy time for the author, and the author is using this to buy time to explain something. Same thing here. Let's continue though. Vegapunk surmises the alliance was feasible and it was necessary to go against Joy Boy, the faction that Joy Boy belonged. So it's telling me that Joy Boy had allies, which we knew some of the allies could be Lily, could be Toki, could be Zoe, Zunisha. It is painting the picture a little bit. Okay, did Joy Boy travel around the world and gain these allies? Did he just join the Ancient Kingdom and their faction? However, it was a full-on war. Vegapunk does give very important information saying, hey, I don't know what caused this. I'm not on either side. I don't know the morality of each. But what I do know, it was a clash of two opposing ideologies. Now, based on the world government and how they are formed at this point, you would lean to the side of the pirate because whatever they were fighting for must be on the right side because, well, Joy Boy, he is the progenitor, the precursor to Luffy, right? It can't be a bad person that could be that, right? Wrong. I'm not just gonna lean on the side of the pirates just because of what's happening now. I'm gonna leave some room for nuance, where maybe the world government had some points. Maybe the pirates had some points. More than likely, they will be on the right side of history, in my mind, even though they're on the wrong side of history because they lost. Things are starting to make sense. Joy Boy's apology, why he couldn't accomplish what he was set out to accomplish with Poseidon back then. Was Poseidon helping in the fight against them?
If you really want to be a CEO, want to be an entrepreneur, you should take the first step. Create the LLC. It doesn't really cost that much to create a company.
Doubt it, because why even send that apology if Poseidon was going to join you, right? It would feel like Marco saying he's not going to show up and then show up. That was an unnecessary Marco stray. I'm not going to apologize for it. Vegapunk made sure to point out as well that Joy Boy existed in a fantastical civilization, meaning anything was possible back then. Deities, devil fruits, all these things existed back then. This is a time where Roger wished he would have lived in, which is because it's fantastical. There's so many things happening, so many possibilities back then. It's like, yo, I wished I lived back then, you know? I want to point out as well that while Vegapunk is talking about this, we see a silhouette which looks like Sun God Nika, Gear 5 Luffy. It looks just like it. And he's going against people that seem to have crowns on, which is implying that the kings were fighting. I don't think the kings were there at all. It's showing that just Joy Boy had a Gear 5 form that was very similar to what Luffy has now. And so somebody said the reason why he lost was because of the time limit. It made me chuckle. It might be facts though, but it showed this silhouetted moment as well as Zoe and Zunisha. So it's somewhat implying these were the allies and these were the people he was going against. So more to come. More to come with that. As he goes on to explain, right, that back then the civilization was so advanced, it's hard to believe that it existed 900 years ago, and that everything back then was beyond our modern science. So that leads me to believe that it wasn't just against the ancient kingdom. That's just how things operated back then. So why try to monopolize anything from that specific kingdom? That's just what it was, right? Unless they had the ancient weapons. Were they trying to create something? Again, I need more context, obviously, but it's now leading me away a bit from just... They were trying to take the information from the ancient kingdom. Clashing ideologies. What is it? Did they feel like the information that they were trying to put out there should have been controlled? Were they trying to control information? Whereas the Ancient Kingdom or the people, the powers that be, they wanted that information to be privy to the people, then it would fall in line with how the world government is now. Not going to deny that, but much to parse through. Again, while they're talking about all these advancements, the weapons, etc., they're showing the minks. They showed Foxy as well. Foxy doesn't care. Foxy's like, what does this peanut-headed man say, right? And they're like, yo, they're making boss hungry. But Vegapunk is explaining that this technology is baffling even to himself, right? But Foxy, in the meantime, he's just like, bro, I don't care about this. This doesn't matter to me. I'm just like, is Foxy important here because of his devil fruit and him being able to slow things? Is Oda throwing a hint there by having Foxy specifically here when he talks about technology being baffling, right? Was Foxy's devil fruit because somebody wished to do some things that were created by weapons back then? These are things, and this is where my mind is taking me because of just things Oda is throwing in. You know what I mean? Then we have a slight cliffhanger where Vegapunk says, well, and that's the problem. And I'm just like, what's the problem? We go away a little bit and then we go to Stussy. And it's Edison. Edison has a suicidal kink, okay? He's like Pedro. He's done it several times in the arc where he just jumped into things without really thinking, or with thinking, but with the acknowledgement that I could die. That's just Edison. And he cares a lot for people, so he's just like, bro, it is what it is. He calls Stussy, he's like, Stussy, take the barrier down and get out of there. And Stussy's like, I can't do that. What if something happens to Strike? Edison's like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. They can get past the barrier if they want to. So keeping this up, it doesn't really matter because the people that we want to keep out, it can't. So, yeah. Get out of there. Edison is saying we've done all we can. We see Jinbei still carrying Zoro, and this moment is hilarious as well because it's like, yo, why is he still carrying him? I understand picking him up to get away from Rob Lucci unsuspecting, but why is he still carrying him? It didn't make sense until somebody while I was streaming said it, and they said, yeah, he has to carry him or they're gonna get lost on the way there. Obviously, if he was not carrying Zoro will end up on the coast next to Nurse Juro or something, so he has to carry him so they can get to where they're going, right? That's like, bro, grown man. I can't even complain because I need a GPS everywhere I go. And of course, Nami's pissed because of Zoro. They have to wait, right? And it's like, she knows it's not Jinbei. It's just like, bro, Zoro, if we missed this because of you, bro, I'm on your case. Stussy has a moment here where it's almost like she come to terms with like, okay, good. I'm happy that they can get away because Stella would never forgive me. But what do I have to live for now that Stella is gone? Which I'm starting to think more and more that Vegapunk may be gone for good. I'm still holding out hope that he comes back as a Jarvis, as a voice, as a conscience that can assimilate into things and control things. AI, if you may. It was an interesting moment, but it was weirder because Kaku was right there and he had like just the ellipse, like, because she's like, what am I meant to live for? Is this implying a team up between the two? Because can Kaku return to the world government? Where does Kaku's allegiances lie? I'm going to assume with Rob Lucci and those guys because he seems to be that kind of guy's guy. What does this mean? Can Stussy come back? Well, Stussy definitely can't come back and be a part of the world government. So it just makes things a bit interesting there because it's adding character, emotion a bit to a character that seemingly is devoid of that. Every time she's been introduced, it seems like, yo, I'm here because of duty, and this is the first time that we see Stussy have true thoughts. And I think Kaku himself, he's like, I've never seen this side of her. Even though she's betraying us, these are true thoughts and feelings. Where do we go from here? Small, but I thought it was interesting. That's just me. We get to a very convoluted part of the chapter just because a lot is going on, and this is where Venus Juro is fighting against Bonnie, Oimorinkashi, Sanji, right? And Sanji, of course, he's on his head when we go to the panel, and they're saying, don't let him use his sword, because I guess he's been wreaking havoc with his sword, and he's pissed. But in the meantime, he's trying to sense things. People are speculating it could be the voice of all things, but I don't think it's not that extreme. And I talked to my guy Sai about it. Something that we talked about was that if it was the voice of all things, Luffy's tapped into this before. Using the voice of all things, people communicating with each other, Luffy has tapped into that if it's the voice of all things, like with the Sea King. So I don't think it's the voice of all things. I think this is just straight up observation haki, right? They're just on the same channel. They just tune themselves enough. They've been together long enough, man. It's been a long ass time. They just know what channel each other's on, and they're there. That's how I look at it. But he's pissed, man, and he's slicing and dicing everything, cutting the heads off the ships. Bonnie's dodging, and something small, but Bonnie had to get saved by Frankie. Frankie saved Edison recently, or rather Lilith in a recent chapter, and saved Nico Robin as well, and then even another woman. So Frankie's been doing Sanji things this arc, when I think about it. But either way, he saves Bonnie, and Bonnie's like, I can't maintain Distorted Future for too long. And so Distorted Future has been presented as very broken, and Oda is somewhat reeling it back, saying, yeah, it's really broken, but I can't maintain it for too long. When Oda says something like that, she means she can only maintain it for 10 minutes, okay? Those are the rules. I don't make them. I just explain them. Something else to point out is that Vegapunk says the Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat. So I'm like, okay, the Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat. So was the fight going on for a century because of Joy Boy? Does that mean Joy Boy has been in the fight for 100 years? Does that then mean, dun dun dun, Joy Boy is not human and Joy Boy was either a buccaneer or more than likely, dun dun dun, a giant? Is that something you guys could surmise? I don't know, because when it said that, I was like, the Void Century ended with Joy Boy's... That's when it ended, right? It said Joy Boy and his faction was fighting against him. The Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat. So go back to the big hat, and it starts to make sense, right? So that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling. And of course, while he's saying this, we see the Ancient Giant, and we see Zunisha. So it's just like two really large things. I'm just like, two large things. You imply that he was basically fighting for damn near 100 years. Was he another large thing? Crazy jumps? I don't think so. I think it's pretty plausible. Now again, whilst Vegapunk is speaking, Venus Juro, he's losing his mind, right? He's trying to sense the Den Mushi. He's like, there's too many life forms up here. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna cut it all, right? And he basically cuts this structure. He does a law move where it's like, yo, we about to change it, break the gears, right? He just cuts everything in half. Not gonna lie, it's an impressive feat. It just doesn't resonate as much with us because we saw Law. We saw what Law was able to do. Not even past Law. We saw Zoro, right? We saw like some of the greatest swordsmen that we've seen. And it's very impressive though. Very impressive. Don't want to downplay it at all. Yeah. Now, the Seraphim exposed. But that's not even the important stuff that's going on.
I love Brago, bro, with this power scale and shit.
Like some of the greatest.
He right though.
Venus
like,
Juro,
that's why y'all didn't see me react to that shit like that. Y'all didn't see me react to it.
So it's just like two really large things. I'm just like, two large things. You imply that he was basically fighting for damn near 100 years. Was he another large thing?
I saw Zoro and I saw Law.
I don't think so.
And to some degree, I saw a dope flamingo cut
now again,
like shit in
whilst
half.
Vegapunk is speaking, Venus Juro, he's losing his mind, right? He's trying to sense the Den Mushi. He's like, there's too many life forms up here. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna cut it all, right? And he basically cuts this structure. He does a law move where it's like, yo, we about to change it, break the gears, right? He just cuts everything in half. Not gonna lie, it's an impressive feat. It just doesn't resonate as much with us because we saw Law. We saw what Law was able to do. Not even past Law. We saw Zoro, right? We saw like some of the greatest swordsmen that we've seen, and it's very impressive though. Very impressive. Don't want to downplay it at all. Now, the Seraphim exposed. But that's not even the important stuff that's going on here. Vegapunk said after the war, there were grander consequences. Consequences. Whatever do you mean, Vegapunk? He says, in wake of the ancient conflict, it scarred the world, and those scars never healed. I'm like, okay, what happened? Like, what is the scab, man? Tell me what the scab is. Vegapunk goes into something obvious, and then he has an insane way to work out of it, because he says, we know traveling between islands are difficult, right? And some people, they're just content with living and dying where they are. They don't go anywhere because just how difficult it is to get around. People are like, of course, that's obvious. I mean, you don't have to say that. Vegapunk's like, yeah, it's obvious and common knowledge. Now, it was like that back then, because back then, because of the cataclysmic event, everything sunk under the water. And we are living on the fragments of the continent. Or rather, the remnants of the continental fragments. And then they show a civilization or something.
You're gonna be the handsomest wedding guest.
I look amazing. I feel like I can do anything. Move over her, Dad. Outfit.
Something underwater. It looks like a palace or a castle. It looks like damn near a city underwater, like a bridge. It's like this fantastical thing, which makes you think of like Atlantis, things like that. We talked about this before, but what I start to question is the fishmen. Fishmen, how much do you know? Because whilst this was happening, these are the times where you are flourishing and you somewhat try to take over. But then these are the times where, as well, the celestial dragons, they go higher up on top of the red line where the Lunarians were. So the timeline of all these things is interesting, but now it's confirmed the former civilization is underwater. The One Piece being underwater, it is a possibility, right? But it makes sense for a lot of these older people that we feel like know a lot, like Crocus, right? Shanks. No Devil users, Rayleigh, coding ships. Rayleigh said, yo, once you find out everything, then you'll have your own answer. Rayleigh's answer was to start coding ships because business was about to boom. I'm not mad at it. When you think about everything being underwater now and living on the remnants, right? Because Impo down, it's Impo down, but it's Impo up. They built up, right? They built up and reinforced it for being underwater. Everything that we see is on the remnants, just like Wano. Just like Wano. It's no different than Wano. Wano, this ancient Wano underwater, and they went up higher because they needed to. That should have told us everything we needed to know. Where do we go from here? Well, Vegapunk had some more thoughts. Some more thoughts. Something I want to point out is while this is happening, we see the revolutionaries as well, right? We see Shimotsuki Village, we see the revolutionaries, we see Sabo, right? Everyone's reacting, and the person that doesn't say anything just ellipses is Dragon. And again, I want to say this, that I do not hate Dragon. I don't love Dragon per se. I just understand this is a character that Oda has been building up for so long, and so I expect a great payoff. And man, it must be tough being a Dragon stan because he doesn't say anything. He just ellipses. And it's like, Dragon, you're just poking it. Like, do something, man. And I'm not one of those guys that think Dragon has to make a move or whatever. It is difficult when it's like things like this happen and Dragon has no feedback, no insight, no nothing, and it's just like ellipses. Bro! It's not that big a deal. It's not. It's just, we see Sabo. Sabo's voice actor is not having a good week, but we see Sabo, Flame Emperor. Vegapunk goes into more information saying that, yo, you don't have to believe me, but bro, this is real. He also goes on to say that he's saying, you know that over the century that the seawater rose 200 meters, and 200 meters, think about it, to put it into context, 1 or 2 meters when the water rose recently after the Lucia incident, it was flooding, right, and making islands uninhabitable. If water rises 200 meters, pretty much everything else will be underwater. The context of it is insane. The thing is, Vegapunk is trying to reel them in because, like, I know what I'm saying sounds crazy, bro, but it is real. They do try to give us context by letting us know a warship is only 60 meters tall. A warship. If water rises 60 meters, how about twice that and then some? 3 times that. So you get to the point where I can understand people being like, come on, right? Because Nojiko didn't care. Nojiko was like, they're like, Nojiko, you hear this? She's like, I gotta go tend to my tangerines. Tell me about it later. And Nojiko looks so good. She looks so good. And again, Ma Town, I don't blame them necessarily for how they're reacting because it sounds crazy. It does. But man, if it is true, and for us, we know it's true. The world is screwed. The One Piece world is definitely screwed. You go to Drum Island, I mean, Sakura Kingdom, right? Chopper's hometown with Dalton and Lady Korea, Miss Korea, Lady Korea. I wanted some insight from her. It's like, yo, you're old as dirt. Like, do you know anything? She's like, you know what? The world finds a way to keep things interesting. It was like, even her, even her, she doesn't know anything. And then we see Miss Golden Week. I'm like, Miss Golden Week, what's the context here? Because Miss Golden Week, she's from Baroque Works, the former partner of Mr. 3, and she had the ability to hypnotize. So I was like, what's the importance here? Does it mean anything? I was going back and looking at just like different things in Miss Golden Week. I think Oda's just given us a bunch of characters that we've seen before, and maybe hiding old characters in the background as well. So I was trying to look as well. Maybe after more time, I see characters and see things that make sense. We're just getting feedback, right? The reaction chapters I love the most, and seeing just people reacting to all this information, fantastical. What I loved as well is when we went to Water 7, everybody's paying attention. Nobody's saying anything, everybody's paying attention. Because like I said, Water 7 is believable in Water 7. Because if it rises by 5 meters, they're screwed. 10, bro, is out of there. 200? But that's why Iceberg is trying to do what he's doing. He says, yo, you're going to assume that this is a natural disaster. He's like, nah, I think it's man-made calamity. And they're like, bro, what you talking about? Is it okay, man? How can we listen? Man-made? And Big News is losing his mind. I think Big News is on the way there. Big News is losing. He's like, you can't be serious. Vivi's like, shut up for a second. Because remember, Vivi, she is from the House of the Kings. They didn't ascend up, but she's from the house. She's from the inner circle. She should be a part of the world government, right? Technically, she is. So she's like, wait, hold on, I gotta hear this. Well, Vegapunk basically explains it and says, there wasn't any natural buildup. There was nothing there based on my research that said anything built up to this point. It just happened. 200 meters in 100 years is not plausible unless something caused this spike. It had to be man-made. He then says a few jarring things to end this chapter, saying, 1, ancient weapons did this. 2, they are waiting and ready to be used again. 3, the Great War from back then is still happening. So based on all that information, what does that tell us? What does that tell me? Well, saying the Great War is still happening is basically saying that the world government, they're still in power and they're still fighting against the powers that be, which is the suppressing information. They're going against people and going against pirates like they were back then, and pirates who deem to find out the truth about the world. There's still more information that Vegapunk has to tell us, because even with that, saying the Great War is still ongoing, okay, tell me more. What do you mean? What's still ongoing? Who has the ancient weapons? Where are the ancient weapons? What are the ancient weapons? In the meantime, Emu was just playing with his butterflies. This is a cataclysmic chapter because it confirms a lot of theories. It lets us know some information about Joy Boy, some context about Joy Boy and the war. And it also prepares us for what's to come and say, yo, it's still ongoing, and somewhat prepares the world. Somebody said this, and I agree. This chapter wasn't necessarily just for us. It more captivates the people in the One Piece world because it's a lot of stuff that for us, we pretty much already knew or figured. Context and specifics we didn't know, but a lot of it we figured. For the people that's hearing this for the first time, you have the Marines that are saying, don't worry about this, but we got work to do. You got the Marines that are saying, I don't know, I want to listen about. I want to listen to this. It's going to lead to civil war. People are going to pick sides. But Doflamingo said it, who will fight whom? It's going to be a lot of civil war. It's going to be a lot of free-for-alls, because what do? People have different beliefs. Some people are going to believe Vegapunk, period. And some people are just going to be like, I'm not believing this guy. Let's get back to work. This is monumental. And this is the tip of the iceberg, seriously. There's so much left I think Vegapunk has left to give us. And again, we cannot discredit him just because he hasn't read all the poneglyphs. He has done the research and he has the information. Fantastic chapter. Absolutely loved it. Guys, give me your thoughts. I know I talked a lot and I don't apologize for it because a lot went on. And I will have a more condensed version. There's a podcast episode coming this weekend as well. So just stay tuned for that. There's a lot to talk about. One Piece is back with a vengeance. Thank you guys for being here and watching. If you made it this far, drop a like because you clearly liked what I was saying. More information. I'm doing some rereading. I'll be dropping a very important video this weekend. So yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Wow. Let's see what he said.
One Piece chapter 1115, Continental Fragments. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. Volume 5, Getting a Bento from Hiyori and Otoko. I want y'all to notice that Hiyori got with her. She got Otoko. She don't got her other homegirl because she's a Kurozumi. So, you know, I don't want to point it out, but I'm just saying. Nah. More than likely, Yamato is going to probably visit everybody that we've seen for the most part. So it's going to be an interesting pilgrimage if it ends like we expect. If it's just her visiting Wano and the people we just seen, I don't really care as much. If it ends up with like something with Blackbeard or Big Mom and Kaido, that'd be dope. That'd be really dope if at the end of her pilgrimage, she kind of figures out more about herself and her dad, et cetera, et cetera. Like she finds like an ancient Oni shrine or something. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Then it would matter to me because we just left Wano. You know what I'm saying? Chapter begin. Whoa, we in Wano. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, like that scared me a little bit. I'm like, yo, why are we back in Wano, yo? Like, I'm like, get me out of here. So you were a pirate, Joy Boy, just like Luffy. You know of him, my lord? I'm assuming Oden wrote about him in the journal, huh? Wait, what the Wait, what? Wait, what? What is going on, bruh? A jail cell at the G4 Naval Base. Joy Boy, who cares? I bet you could easily beat him, right, Captain Kid? Duh, the man's already dead. That's our captain. The only thing bigger than his confidence is his belly. Yeah, I'm clearly a million times tougher than this Joy Toy. It's Joy Boy. Wait. So, wait. So this dude, he just goes around cosplaying as other people? You got this dude cosplaying. It's one thing to convince everybody to cosplay as the Straw Hats, but to have them do it again and cosplay as the Kid Pirates, yo. All right, so now, okay, does this dispel the notion that Kid is dead? Oda does not do something like this if Kid is dead, bro. Kid is alive. Sun God Jika is alive and in full effect, bro. I promise you.
All right, y'all, man. Seems like that's it for now. I'm going to shower and everything and get off stream. It was really nice talking to everybody. I'll see you guys Sunday whenever the chapter releases. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my